What if I told you that the son of Vince McMahon, the heir to the WWE empire, built a secret inner circle of wrestlers that his father never fully understood? Shane McMahon wasn't just another executive in a suit. He was a daredevil who threw himself off Hell in a Cell. He was a businessman who negotiated international deals in China and Japan. And he was a wrestler who earned genuine respect inside the locker room, something money can't buy. But here's what nobody talks about. Shane McMahon's most loved and respected wrestlers weren't always the biggest stars. They weren't always his father's favorites. Some of them were rebels, some were business geniuses, some were warriors who understood something about loyalty and legacy that went deeper than championship belts. Today, we're going inside Shane McMahon's inner circle. And stick around, because the number one wrestler on this list will absolutely shock you. It's someone Shane trusted with his life, both literally and figuratively. Someone who understood the McMahon family business better than almost anyone outside the family. This is Ring Legends, and this is the untold story of Shane McMahon's 10 most loved and respected wrestlers. To understand who Shane McMahon respected most, you first need to understand who Shane McMahon really was. Born into wrestling royalty in 1970, Shane McMahon didn't just inherit a legacy. He had to earn his place in it, piece by brutal piece. Unlike his father Vince, who clawed his way to the top, Shane was born at the top, and that created a unique problem. How do you prove yourself when everyone assumes your success is handed to you? How do you earn respect in a locker room full of men who've fought for everything they have when your last name opens every door? Shane's answer was simple but dangerous. He worked harder than anyone expected, and he risked more than anyone thought he should. By age 15, Shane was working production trucks for WWE events, while other rich kids were at summer camp. Shane McMahon was learning camera angles, pyrotechnics, and the million tiny details that make wrestling television work. According to a 2015 interview with Sports Illustrated, Shane revealed, "When I was in Japan negotiating deals, I watched how wrestlers like Ken Shamrock and Steve Blackman conducted themselves. They understood that wrestling wasn't just about what happened in the ring, it was about representing the business with honor. That changed my perspective forever." Drop a comment if you remember Shane McMahon's early days in WWE before he became Shane McMahon. How many of you knew he was working behind the scenes since he was a teenager? But Shane's real education came when he started wrestling. The first time Shane McMahon took a bump, he earned something more valuable than money. He earned credibility. And the wrestlers who helped him, who protected him but also pushed him to be better, became part of an exclusive circle. Shane McMahon's list of most respected wrestlers isn't about who drew the most money or who won the most titles. It's about who understood three things: the business of wrestling, the art of loyalty, and the weight of legacy. Number 10, Ken Shamrock. Ken Shamrock was one of the first MMA fighters to cross over into WWE, and Shane McMahon was fascinated by him. But it wasn't just Shamrock's legitimate fighting ability that earned Shane's respect, it was his professionalism. In a 2003 interview, Shane said, "Ken approached wrestling the same way he approached fighting. He studied it, he prepared. He never disrespected the business. Even though he could have legitimately hurt anyone in that locker room, Shane respected Shamrock's ability to bridge to World's MMA and professional wrestling, something WWE would desperately need decades later." Shamrock treated WWE like a legitimate sport, and that mindset influenced Shane's vision for international expansion. Number 9, Steve Blackman. Here's one nobody talks about. Steve Blackman was a quiet, intense martial artist who never sought the spotlight. But Shane McMahon respected him deeply for one specific reason. Blackman understood discipline and preparation at a level few wrestlers did. According to former WWE writer Court Bauer on his podcast, Shane McMahon specifically requested Steve Blackman for international tours because Blackman represented WWE with absolute professionalism. He didn't party, he didn't complain, and he made every opponent look credible. Shane respected wrestlers who made the business look legitimate, and Blackman did that every single night. But here's where things get interesting. The next few names on this list reveal something about Shane McMahon that most fans never understood. Number 8. Test Andrew Martin. Test was one of Shane McMahon's closest allies on screen, but their relationship went much deeper backstage. Test was handpicked by Shane to be his on-screen bodyguard and tag partner. But the reason why reveals Shane's psychology. Shane was drawn to Test because Test was in a similar position, a young, physically impressive talent who had to prove he was more than just a good look. Shane saw himself in Test, someone fighting to be taken seriously. In a 2002 interview, Test revealed, "Shane treated me like a peer, not like the boss's son. We'd work out together, travel together, and he'd ask my opinion on creative. That meant everything." Number 7. X-Pac Sean Waltman. This one might surprise you. X-Pac and Shane McMahon formed a bond based on mutual respect for risk-taking. X-Pac was one of the smallest guys in WWE, but he worked a high-flying, dangerous style that earned respect from everyone. Shane McMahon saw X-Pac as a kindred spirit, someone who refused to let size or expectations limit what they could do. Both were told they were too small or not tough enough, and both proved everyone wrong by doing insane stunts. According to Sean Waltman in a 2018 podcast appearance, Shane McMahon was one of the few people in WWE who understood what it was like to constantly have to prove yourself. We bonded over that. Number 6. The Big Show, Paul White. Big Show and Shane McMahon's relationship was built on an unlikely foundation: business mentorship. When Big Show left WCW and joined WWE in 1999, he was young, inexperienced in WWE's corporate structure and making career-defining decisions. Shane McMahon took Big Show under his wing, not just creatively, but financially. According to Big Show's autobiography, Shane helped him understand contract negotiations, investment strategies, and long-term financial planning. "Shane treated me like a little brother," Big Show wrote. "He cared about my career beyond what I could do for WWE. He wanted me to be financially secure after wrestling. That level of personal investment created a bond that lasted decades." Do you think helping wrestlers with their financial future is part of management's responsibility, or is that above and beyond? Let me know in the comments, because the McMahon family's approach to this has always been controversial. Number 5. Kurt Angle. Now we're getting into the wrestlers Shane McMahon didn't just respect. He trusted them with his body and his career. Kurt Angle and Shane McMahon's street fight at King of the Ring 2001 is one of the most brutal matches in WWE history. Shane was thrown through glass multiple times, and Kurt Angle had to balance making the match look devastating while keeping Shane alive. But here's the secret nobody talks about. According to Kurt Angle in his autobiography, Shane McMahon insisted on taking real punishment. Shane didn't want to be protected like some executive playing wrestler, Angle wrote. He wanted to prove he belonged in the ring with me. That earned my respect forever. Shane respected Kurt Angle's Olympic discipline, technical mastery, and ability to make anyone, even a non-wrestler like Shane, look credible. and Kurt respected Shane's willingness to sacrifice his body for the business. Number 4, Kane Glenn Jacobs. Here's where Shane McMahon's respect reveals something deeper about his character. Kane wasn't just a monster character, Glenn. Jacobs was one of the smartest men in the WWE locker room. He studied economics, politics, and business strategy. Shane McMahon was drawn to Kane because Jacobs understood the wrestling business from an intellectual perspective. According to a 2016 interview, Shane said, "Glenn Jacobs is one of the most intelligent people I've ever met in this business. We'd have conversations about economics and political philosophy that would blow your mind. But here's what nobody knows. Shane McMahon and Glenn Jacobs worked together on WWE's digital strategy in the mid-2000s. While Shane was leading WWE's international and digital expansion, Jacobs provided strategic insight on content distribution and long-term planning. This wasn't just a wrestler-executive relationship. This was two businessmen collaborating on WWE's future. And when Glenn Jacobs ran for mayor of Knox County, Tennessee, Shane McMahon privately supported his campaign, according to sources close to both men. Shane respected Kane because Kane understood that wrestling was a vehicle for something larger: business, politics, and cultural influence. Number 3, The Undertaker, Mark Calloway. The Undertaker represents everything Shane McMahon respected about professional wrestling: loyalty, legacy, and sacrifice. But their relationship goes back further than WrestleMania 32. In the late 1990s and early 2000s, The Undertaker was the unofficial locker room leader. He protected the business, mentored young wrestlers, and commanded respect from everyone. Shane McMahon watched how The Undertaker handled backstage politics, how he navigated the corporate structure while maintaining his independence, and how he built a legacy that transcended championships. At WrestleMania 32, Shane McMahon jumped off the top of Hell in a Cell, 20-foot fall through a tableland, entrusted his safety to The Undertaker's positioning and timing. According to backstage sources, Undertaker personally walked Shane through every detail of that spot multiple times. Shane trusted Undertaker with his life. A WWE producer revealed in a 2017 interview, "That's not just respect, that's family." Did you know Shane trusted Undertaker with that insane Hell in a Cell jump? Drop A in the comments if this just blew your mind. Number 2, The Rock, Dwayne Johnson. The Rock and Shane McMahon grew up together in the wrestling business. They were both second generation, Stars Rock as the son of Rocky Johnson, Shane as the son of Vince McMahon. They both faced the same challenge, proving they earned their success, not inherited it, but their bond went deeper. Shane McMahon watched The Rock transform from Rocky Maivia into the most electrifying man in sports entertainment through sheer force of will and business intelligence. According to a 2013 interview, Shane said, "Dwayne understood the business better than almost anyone. He knew how to build his brand, protect his value, and transition into Hollywood. I learned from watching him." Their relationship evolved from childhood friends to business partners to mutual mentors. Shane respected The Rock not just as a wrestler, but as a businessman who understood how to build an empire beyond the ring. But as incredible as The Rock is, he's not number 1. Number 1, Triple H, Paul Levesque. The number 1 wrestler Shane McMahon loves and respects most is Triple H, and the reasons why reveal everything about Shane's character. Triple H and Shane McMahon started as on-screen rivals. Triple H dated and married Shane's sister, Stephanie McMahon. They competed for influence within WWE's corporate structure. They should have been enemies. Instead, they became brothers. Here's what changed everything. According to multiple sources, including a 2019 interview with Paul Levesque, Shane McMahon was the person who first advocated for Triple H to transition into a backstage leadership role. "Shane saw something in me before a lot of people did," Triple H revealed. "He understood that I wasn't just a wrestler, I was someone who loved the business from every angle. He pushed for me to be involved in talent development, creative decisions, and long-term planning." When Shane left WWE in 2009 to pursue outside business ventures, one of the hardest goodbyes was to Triple H. And when Shane returned in 2016, Triple H was one of the first people he reconnected with backstage. But here's the deepest truth. Shane McMahon respected Triple H because Triple H did what Shane always wanted to do, but couldn't. He fully committed to WWE and became the heir to Vince McMahon's legacy. Shane left WWE multiple times to prove himself outside the family business. But Triple H stayed, grinding every day, building NXT, discovering new talent, and preparing for the day he would lead WWE. And today, in 2025, Triple H is the Chief Content Officer of WWE, making creative decisions, shaping the future of the industry. Shane McMahon, watching from outside WWE, has publicly praised Triple H's leadership multiple times on social media. Shane respects Triple H not out of obligation, but because Triple H earned the McMahon legacy through dedication, intelligence, and love for the business. He's not just family, he's the standard. These 10 wrestlers represent Shane McMahon's values: discipline, business acumen, loyalty, risk-taking, and respect for legacy. They're not all the biggest stars. They're not all Hall of Famers. But they all earned something. Money can't be Shane McMahon's genuine respect. If you loved this deep dive into Shane McMahon's inner circle and the untold stories of respect in professional wrestling, make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell for more untold stories from Ring Legends. Who should we cover next? Drop your pick in the comments below. Should we explore Vince McMahon's most trusted allies? Stone Cold's real locker room friends? The wrestlers Triple H respects most? You tell us. Next week, we're diving into the dark truth behind WWE's most controversial firings, the real reasons why certain superstars were released that WWE never wanted you to know. You won't want to miss it. This channel is growing fast thanks to fans like you who love the real stories behind wrestling history. Let's keep uncovering the truth together. Until next time, this is Ring Legends. Keep watching, keep learning, and never forget respect is earned in inches, not given in miles.